Did that work? I don't know. Tell me. Can you guys hear me? That question is more important than normal because I am using a different microphone for the first time in between 6 and 7 years. That's correct. Since my last, let me crack this Alcolo. Shout out to Whistling Diesel once again. Yes, I since the last live stream, I have replaced my microphone. My Yeti Blue microphone is actually sitting down on a shelf below me. And we now have a SteelSeries Alias, which is a popular microphone. Has some cool features, but the most important thing is we need to make sure that it works. So make sure that we can hear. Oh, okay. Simon says loud and clear. Perfect. It's supposed to be a better microphone than the Yeti. Costs more than what the Yeti costs. So I don't know. We'll see. From my perspective, right in front of me, you can't see it. There's a little LED level meter that coincides with what the microphone is hearing. So that's kind of cool. And you can kind of see at the bottom, it has a little LED light as well that cycles color. I guess if you had it on your desk, on the desktop stand, that would be more significant. With it being on a boom arm like this, I guess it's a little less significant. But anyways, so yeah, new mic. I'd like to start off the stream recognizing my channel members because I like doing that. So let's share. Let's see. Let's share this screen. Share it. Let's make me nice and tiny. Actually, I can just disappear altogether, I guess, for this part. All right, my current channel members, 22. So I think I had 23 or 24 last time, so I've lost a couple. Timothy Plumley, Electric Unicycle, also known as Dale. Brian McCann, Michelle Bardaly, MUC on my EUC, Blue Collar Jose, Medium Dog, Michael Lenardic, Philip Arnold, Planet Iceland EUC, E. Simon, who is here currently, who's been a channel member for 46 months. Garrett Taylor, Babbitt the Wabbit, On Air Promo, also known as Larry Zarkov, A. Viking, Brian Gonzalez, Doug Yetman, still scrolls back up, Ratman Murray, Black Crow, Senator Perry, Marty, and Stuart Ross, who both have been members for 53 months. Yes, 4 years and change. That's pretty amazing. Okay, we'll remove that and we'll bring me back. There we go. Since I think I talked about this in the last stream. The last stream was approximately 2 weeks ago, a little bit more than that. What is today? Today's Friday. Yes, my internal calendar feels off. It doesn't feel like Friday to me because I was off work today. I went and played pickleball today. Got some stuff done around the house today. But it does not feel like Friday. Like normally on Fridays, I'll go and get my groceries, which I did earlier. I actually got groceries earlier. Did some other things today that I'll talk about. But anyways, yeah, it feels a little weird that it is Friday. It feels like it should be Saturday, but it's not. So, okay, let's see who we got in here right now. As I mentioned earlier, we got Simon here. We got Dale's here. Another channel member, just mentioned him. Blue Collar Jose, another channel member. How am I doing? I'm doing A-okay, and the new mic is thumbs up. You may also notice that your comments are displaying on the screen. In the bottom right hand corner, I actually turned that feature back on. I remember to do it this time. Green Master Mike, what's up? What's up, Mike? Mike, who's doing a podcast regularly with Sensei Vegan. Did you every live stream or podcast with him, Mike? It seems it. Or maybe just the ones that I see. I don't know. Dale says, my internet may drop out. I'm sitting on the shitty in a truck stop in the middle of the country. You're sitting, is the shitty a toilet? Is that what you're saying, Dale? Okay. I don't know that you've ever listened to live stream in those situations, but that's great, I guess. Sure. Oh, okay. You corrected yourself and said shitter. Okay. Blue collar Jose, how are the stitches healing up? You may notice I have a bandage on that side of my head. Things have not gone the way that I would like. I guess I can talk about that now. I mentioned in my last live stream that I've been going back and listening to old live streams. I think I'm back on live stream number 20. This is PEV live stream 115, by the way. And what I used to do is, of course, I would interact with chat like I do now, but I also would write some notes that I could refer to if I got caught up on chat, if things slowed down. And listening to those old live streams made me realize that I should do that. So I do have some notes here. But anyways, as far as the incision in my head, those of you that don't know, I had some skin cancer cut out of my forehead right near the hairline. I've had a number of these surgeries done. It's called a Mohs procedure, where they go in and they cut out the affected area, and then they test the edges to make sure they got it all out, and then they sew you up. And then they leave the stitches in there. In this case, these stitches were in for 10 days. And then they remove them, and it heals up, and yeah, you should be good to go. You wouldn't know it, but I've had incisions all over my face, and they have all healed well. This one, the patch of skin that was removed was big. It was significantly big, partially because of my fault, because I let it go longer than I should have. I knew that it was a problem probably 9 months ago at least. And I didn't feel like getting my head cut. And what happens with basal cell or squamous cell skin cancer is if you let it go, it's not deadly like melanoma, but it will spread and the area will get bigger. So the bigger it is, the more intense the surgery is, and the more that they have to cut out, obviously. So this is a pretty decent sized patch. I don't know, maybe a nickel size, roughly, between a nickel and a quarter. Yeah, not quite a quarter, but probably between a nickel and a quarter. And the end result is when you have a significant size hole, the incision that they have to sew up is large. The bigger the hole, the longer the incision is. The incision in my head was between 2.5 and 3 inches long. So that's long, right? So he sews me up. And I had a different dermatologist. My normal dermatologist was out of the country at the time. So we had this other guy that did it, who supposedly is like a Mohs expert. I was told that he does like 14 to 16 of these per day. He does nothing but Mohs procedures, whereas my regular dermatologist does less. Because when they told me that I was going to have someone else do it, I was kind of hesitant. I'm like, well, I've been coming there for over 20 years. Why am I having someone else do the work? And they said he's out of the country. And also, I guess my normal dermatologist has been having some physical issues, that he's doing less surgeries. So, okay. So anyways, he sews me up. It feels tight. A big hole, long incision. He has to, there's a lot of tension on that incision. But he got me sewed up tight. It looked nasty. And as a precaution, he had me do antibiotics. He gave me oral antibiotics. And there was 5 days of oral antibiotics, because he said, because it's on the hairline, there's lots of ways you can get bacteria into that area. So, and this is something else I don't recall ever having to do, oral antibiotics after having one of these surgeries, but he recommended it. I did it. 5 days of oral antibiotics. So the incision never looked great. And I was seeing like yellow on it very early. Like I have a picture of myself from August to the 5th, I believe, where you could already see that there was some yellowish stuff on the incision line. And the thing was, I had just completed the oral antibiotics, and that's the whole point of the oral antibiotics, is to knock any potential for that out of your system. In addition to that, they told me to keep the incision covered with Vaseline nonstop, basically, which I did. Now, in the past, every time I've had one of these surgeries, I've always used Neosporin. Neosporin has kind of a Vaseline-like consistency, but has other things in it that are supposed to be more antibacterial. This doctor was very much not a fan of Neosporin for some reason. I guess you can have like an allergic reaction to Neosporin, evidently. Some people can. I never have. But he's like, yeah, just use Vaseline. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to use the Vaseline. So that's what I did. So 10 days passed, and I went back to get these stitches taken out, and I still had the yellowish crap around there. It looked, usually the incision it'll seep kind of blood a little bit for a few days. I'm sorry for being gross, but then by the time it's time to get the stitches taken out, there shouldn't be any blood really coming from the incision. And this was seeping the entire time. I would wake up and there would just be some blood or whatever, and still some of this yellow stuff. So when I went to have the stitches taken out, the nurse, there's just a nurse that does this. She said, "Oh, hey, how's it been doing?" And I said, "Well, it looks kind of goopy to me." And she looks at it and she's like, "Oh, yeah." So she took a culture of it to get it tested, to see if that is infection or bacteria of some sort. But then the head nurse came in to look at it, and she said, "Okay, well, we're going to still take the stitches out." And I'm like, okay. So they take them out, and it does not look good. Like I didn't look at it when I was there, obviously, but when I got back, normally when you take the stitches out, you'll have a line, and you'll have like redness along that line. Well, in my situation, I had a line here and a line here, but in the middle, it looked like it opened, like it was open, almost like the stitches didn't take, the healing didn't take underneath. I don't know if it's because of infection or whatever. It didn't look good to me. And I pointed that out to them, and I called later that day, and I said to the nurse, I said, I've had at least 15 of these procedures, and I've never had it look like this after the stitches were taken out. And she said to me, "Oh, well, just keeping a Vaseline on it. And once we get the results back from that culture that was taken, which takes 3 days for some reason, we'll advise you from there, but just keep it covered with Vaseline." So that's what I did. And then I finally got and it looked gross. I determined that this is actually behaving like a brush burn. Like I've had plenty of brush burns from falling down, road rash, that kind of stuff. Basically, a couple nights, what I did is I would take a shower, wash it out, and then go to bed without putting Vaseline on it, without putting Neosporin on it. And I would wake up and it would just be a solid kind of red spot, basically, almost like a scab, like how your brush burns will scab. But then when it gets wet, if you ever taken a shower with a brush burn, you'll notice that it kind of gets like gross and slimy again, right? At least that's what's always happened to me. And that's exactly how this has been acting. If it gets wet, if I cover it with Neosporin, or they actually prescribed me some more some stronger antibiotic cream, if it's wet like that, the appearance of it kind of gets slimy. If it dries out, it just goes solid red. So it's frustrating. But anyways, I got a call back on Friday. Oh wait, today is Friday. See, my days are all messed up. I got a call this morning, and they said, "Okay, well, that culture did come back and showed some degree of infection of bacteria or whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to prescribe you another oral antibiotic, a different oral antibiotic. You're going to take that for another 5 days, and then you are going to come and visit us next Thursday. I'm out of town Sunday to Wednesday, so next Thursday I'm going in there, and the doctor is going to see me, and it's going to be up close and personal, and I'm going to press him, because right now, if you look at and I'm not going to show you, but if you look at the area where the wound is, it's almost like I have a crater sort of where this area is, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. And I don't want to have a crater on my forehead because it wasn't sewn up well. So I don't know. I don't know what the end result's going to be, if they're going to have to restitch it, or if it will actually heal on its own and look semi-normal. I don't know. I just know that I'm sick of messing with it, and I don't know. It seems ironic that the first time that I've had another doctor touch my skin, I'm having these kind of issues. So Not real happy. That's a very long-winded answer, Blue Collar Jose, but it is the truth. Doesn't necessarily hurt. The area around that isn't like usually when you have an infection, it can be like intensely red or hot or something like that. I don't feel anything like that. I don't know. I'm just tired of it. Mike says, yeah, I'm co-host with Sensei and the Wrangler for guests. Oh, you're the guest wrangler. For all the ones I've done, except one I didn't wrangle. That's good, man. Every podcast needs a wrangler, right? Dale says, I will get on there soon, Mike. Okay. Thank you for the prayers, Mike. Like I said, I've had a bunch of these. And my first one was in my 30s, I believe. I had my first one. And I remember when I heard, and I think I've told this story before, when I heard it, and they said, we've done biopsy results on that piece of skin that was looking suspicious, and it's cancerous. Basal cell skin cancer. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die, man. I was really shaken up by it and really worried. And it's not like basal cell skin cancer is inconsequential. And the fact that I've had so many basal and squamous cell spots already cut out makes you more at risk for melanoma skin cancer, which is very serious. Melanoma, depending on where it is and when you catch it, that can be lights out. So there's that, but generally speaking, basal cell skin cancer is just something that I've been dealing with for off and on for the last 20 years. Murray's here, channel member Ratman Murray, also a resident of Australia. And I see I have a software update available for my car from the Tesla. So I'm actually charging my Tesla to 100% right now because I'm going to be going on a little mini road trip tomorrow. So let's install the software update. I've been waiting. They've been, I know I'm jumping around. I've been waiting to get the software update installed in my car that includes Grok, the Tesla AI. I have not gotten it yet. Maybe this one will be it. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I wanted to let me show you how. Well, I'm not going to show you, but I'm going to do this as I have you on the phone. I wanted to turn on full self-driving. You can just get the subscription for a month if you want, and that's what I'm going to do because I don't feel like having to work hard to drive tomorrow because it's going to be a total of probably 7 to 8 hours of driving. Let's see. Let's pick the right card. All right. Subscribe. All right. Just like that, I now have full self-driving available in my car. Basically, what it does is it kind of does a reboot of the UI, and then lo and behold, you have full self-driving. And then I can cancel it at any point, and then I will have full self-driving up until the end of that 30 days, and that's what I will do. I've done this several times now. I did it for the trip out to Texas. Made the drive way, way better. All right. Got my fan going in here. It's a little warm. Combination of the I have one of my 3D printers running right now, and my air conditioning is a little there's something going on with it. It's having a hard time holding temperature, and my last electric bill was massive, and that's probably because it's running all the time to keep the temperature. So once I get back from my trip, I'm going to need to call and have my AC checked out because I think there's definitely something going on with it. And down here in Southwest Florida, air conditioning is a necessity. There's an earthquake in Australia. I didn't hear about it. 5.2 near Sunny Coast about 15 minutes ago. No kidding. I don't know that I've ever heard of an earthquake in Australia. 5.2. Murray said it was huge. I thought 5.4 wasn't that significant. I guess that's enough to shake it around a lot. Yeah. George is here. George Bourbon. Dale, are you riding or hitchhiking across the country? I didn't know you were doing that. And Dale, I don't know if you have anything else to add about your hospital visit. Those of you that don't know, that aren't friends with Dale on social media, he went to the hospital. Was it last week or the week before, Dale? And I don't remember exactly the symptoms that you had. I do know you said that they didn't find anything definitive, but I didn't know if you had anything else beyond that to add regarding your visit to the hospital. Dale's going to get a lift to Sydney with a mate in his truck and then get a train to Brisbane in a couple of weeks. All right. So is there a reason for this, Dale, or you just feel like traveling? Murray says, put honey on it, Duff, get some sunshine on it. Well, yeah, and that is the conundrum, Murray, because some people will say do what you say. Some people will say no, you got to keep it covered to heal. So I don't know. To like what I've been doing lately is not keeping it wet at night and just letting it let the air get it at night, and then I wake up with that red area. I don't know about sun on it would be very good since it was cut out because it was skin cancer, Murray. I'm not quite sure that would be good or not. Blue Collar Jose, are you doing any EUC tours in California this year? No, Jose. That's the short answer. No. My situation with California is different than it was last year at this time. Let's just put it that way. It's different, and I have other priorities now. You know, I have a girlfriend here that I would rather spend time with her if I can. So, like if I'm going somewhere on a trip, I would want to do it with her. Sterling, in regards to full self-driving, surprised they still allow you to do it monthly. They just killed the 1010 Starlink mini roam plan. Now you have to pay $5 a month forever, but you do get unlimited 0.5 megabits internet. Whoa, wow. That's not too fast. That's very nice of them. So what, like dial-up speed? Great. You guys hear that AOL was finally shutting down their dial-up internet service? I had no idea it was still in place, but I did see a article that it was getting shut down. Finally. Who would do dial-up internet in this day and age? I don't really know. Murray, lack of alcohol. Seeing my problems might be that. Yeah, actually, I think generally speaking, you're not supposed to drink alcohol when you're on antibiotics. I took my first dose with dinner. I'm just rolling the dice. I don't know. This Alcolo, man. I last night I hosted our fantasy football draft, which I've done for 20 years or so, and lots of food and drink and all that kind of stuff. And I drank 2 Alcolos. I had my first Alcolo with before I really ate anything significant. This gets me drunk fast, man. I got to be careful of this stuff. Like if I slam 2 or 3 of these, it hits me hard because it's 8% alcohol, I guess. So be warned. If you shotgun Alcolos, you're going to feel it. Dale, in regards to his medical issue, nothing since then. Bloods and ECG were fine. Basically, see if it happens again. Well, see, but what happened? Did you pass out? Well, what were the symptoms, Dale? Because if you post them online, I either didn't see them or I forgot. So Dale is moving to Brisbane. I left Perth almost a year ago to head back there and only got halfway, so now I'm doing the rest. So is Perth where you had the job, where you're doing the cable work and driving the forklift and stuff? I need like a map of Australia that I can like put little pins where Dale is. You know, track your movements back and forth across Australia. Blue Collar Jose, is your new girlfriend interested in EUCs? No. I mean, I'm not trying to push her about it, but she hasn't indicated that she's wants to learn. That's fine. You know, that's not a huge deal to me, anyways. There's not a lot. There's not a lot of females that are going to be into EUCs. You know, we do lots of other things together, so it's fine. Okay, so Dale just passed out while sitting at the table. All right. So you weren't like stupid drunk or anything, Dale, right? I mean, with you, I have to ask. EUC, yes, EUC, Rhode Island. Yeah, you made this comment, right? Aloe Vera, man, so good for past trauma. Like I got thrown off my V11 and landed on my shoulder 2 years ago, and sometimes it feels sore, so I cover it and it gets better. Yeah, I don't have an aloe vera plant. I guess I could just go buy one, right? Yeah, EUC Rhode Island, he commented on the video that I posted on the V13 drop pedal adapters about this. But aloe vera, now, I don't know. I guess I could ask the doctor. I mean, doing aloe vera in lieu of my antibiotic cream, or aloe vera after I'm done treating it otherwise. I don't know. Does aloe vera fix painful knees? Because I can definitely use that. I played pickleball this morning, and I had to. I only got through it because I popped 2 Advil. My knees are just ugh. They just get sore, and it's annoying. Perth is like California, and I was basically in Texas heading towards Florida and then NYC, but in Australian. All right, gotcha. Murray, too much blood in his alcohol system. Yeah, something like that. I haven't been drinking that all that much lately. Although I weighed myself one thing about the draft, and this always happens, and I don't know why. But in regards to in addition to the drinking, there's tons of food there. I had pizza. There was sandwich, like subs there, chips, pretzels, salsa, cookies, all kinds of crap. It's like it's like I'm a bottomless pit. Like I can't satiate myself enough with eating at the draft. I don't know why it is. I don't know what it is about that environment that makes me eat so much, but I felt like a freaking pig, man. And I got on the scale after I took a shower, and I had gained like 3 pounds from the previous day. Well, I guess I had weighed myself probably 2 or 3 days prior, but yeah, I ate like a pig, and I hate that feeling when I do that. So I will be more disciplined with my eating. Although it's going to be hard to do the next 3 days when I'm out of town at this work conference because it's nothing but food. So I don't know. We'll see. And it's funny, ironically, you know, I made a pig of myself last night, and then just this past Monday, I did another fast. I did almost a 36-hour fast. That's the 4th time I've done it. Been doing it just because fasting, you know, it's not really weight loss in my situation, but obviously it can help kickstart weight loss, I guess. It's more like fasting makes your body kind of burn up the cells that are not necessarily not good. It starts to, instead of relying on food for energy, it starts to consume parts of itself for energy. And generally speaking, the parts that it consumes are things you don't want anyway. So I fasted on Monday, lost in that 36-hour period, I lost like 5 pounds. It was 0 calories. I had coffee and water, and that was it during that period. So I don't know, maybe I need to do another one after that fantasy football party. Mike, are you sure the heat's not being caused by that flux capacitor behind you? No, it's LEDs. It doesn't burn too hot. It's the 3D printer definitely threw off a lot of heat. Definitely. But like I said, my AC is definitely not working 100% either. So combination. It was annoying too because, you know, I had like 12 people in my house last night, and I couldn't get the temperature down. I cranked the thermostat down, but it didn't move. The thermostat didn't start to drop the temperature in the house until like 11 after everybody left. mean, it wasn't terribly hot. It was 77 degrees, but with that many people, like I normally would set the thermometer down or the thermostat down to like 72. It could not budget. So, and yes, it's hot here. It's been hot here. It's August in Florida, but that's the way it always is. And the AC has always not had a problem before, and now it does. So. UC Rhode Island says, buy one plant it, and it propagates great. Knees, yes, that's great for everything. Also, compression sleeve for knees works great for prevention. Well, I don't know about the first two things you said. Compression sleeves, I am not a fan. I've had knee surgery. My first knee surgery, I think, was when I was 30 or 31 from playing volleyball. And then I used to wear knee sleeves a lot on my affected knee, thinking that keeping it warm with additional support would be good. But my knees still hurt all the time wearing those sleeves. And it's funny. I realized at some point, I don't remember how long it took or why I realized it. I think I just didn't wear one time, and I got done, and it felt better. It felt better not wearing the sleeves. I don't know. I don't know why that is for me, but I have had poor results using compression sleeves / like the patella tendon knee support sleeves. Because I used to have a whole collection of those that I would wear to play volleyball, and I actually felt better after I stopped wearing them. The meniscus in my knees is a mess. Both knees, actually. But yeah, hey, if aloe vera is good for knees, I'm going to buy a plant and I can propagate it. Sure. I have a semi-green thumb, so I can give that a shot. Definitely can't hurt, right? Topical Arnica. George, I actually have Arnica. I've heard about it. Someone else turned me on to Arnica as a natural anti-inflammatory, and I actually have it. I have it in pill form. Arnica pills are very, very small that I've been taking for a long period of time. Well, probably 9 months, and I haven't noticed a big improvement from that. What I have noticed that has helped recently is I also take a turmeric supplement. That seems to have helped. I started doing that when I was having the chronic IT band problems. So that has helped with that. But I am familiar with Arnica as well, George, but not topical. Oh, Murray says all the booze comments are for Dale. Okay. Yeah, I guess in retrospect they would apply better to Dale. Murray says, get Elsa to lick your head, not right after she's been licking her butt. Well, I never know when she's going to lick her butt, so yeah. But yeah, I do know dog saliva, right? That's why they lick themselves when they have a wound or they're injured. All right. We still haven't gotten to EUCs yet. I do have some things to talk about with the EUCs, but haven't gotten there yet. But we will. Yeah, I'm not gonna go forever tonight because, like I said, I am doing this long drive tomorrow. I'm gonna probably have a 5:30 a.m. alarm clock, so this isn't gonna be a 4-hour night. I can tell you that. UC Rhode Island continues. That should be buy when aloe vera plant makes 2, then 4. Yeah, okay. You love fasting 5 days? Oof, that's rough, man. 5 days. That is, yeah. I shouldn't say I don't know that I could do that because if you set your mind to something, you can do almost anything. But that sounds awful long to me. At the end of the 36 hours, I felt okay. I probably could have gone 48, but 5 days. That sounds like a pretty unhappy 5 days for me. Oh, I didn't mention that not only am I streaming to YouTube, I once again am streaming to Twitch as well. I don't know if this was just a coincidence, but I did stream my last live stream to Twitch, and last week I got an invitation to set up for monetization on Twitch, which I'd never gotten before. I don't know if that's something that they're doing for everybody, or if something triggered on my account that they're offering monetization to me, but I don't know why it would, because my audience on Twitch is basically nothing. But anyways, yeah, I am monetized on Twitch, and I am live streaming this to Twitch. On Twitch, my channel is Duff67. Jonata Ide. Let's see. Libera a Funkio Double Game YouTube here in Brazil. Let's see. All right. Let's translate that. I guess there's not a way for me to do that easily in StreamYard. My girlfriend is Hispanic, so I took Spanish for like 3 or 4 years in high school, so I know enough to be dangerous, but I can't speak it fluently. Okay. Oh, come on. What? Oh, come on, man. Is that Portuguese? What the heck? I don't know. It's not working. Oh, okay. Release dubbing function? What? Release dubbing function to I don't know. Okay, he's saying I think he's saying like YouTube has the option to auto translate. I don't know that I can do that while I am streaming. Maybe after it's completed I can, but I don't see a way to do that real time. Jonathan, sorry. Simon, you shouldn't fast when you're taking antibiotics. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, you're supposed to drink lots of water and take it with food. No, I didn't. I wasn't fasting when I was on antibiotics. I had already completed the antibiotics by that time. Yeah, I know, Simon. Spartacus is here. Yo, what's up, buddy? There we go. Murray says, check out some skin cream called Zambuk. It is a cream from South Africa. It is green like kiwi fruit and is excellent for skin ailments. Okay. Okay. Yeah, see, my whole point about this whole thing is to me, it seems clearly that area did not close, and when they cut the stitches, it opened. So to me, I thought the advice was going to be, okay, come back in, and we're going to have to stitch you up again, and that hasn't happened. And I sent them. They took pictures of it when I was there, and then I sent them pictures a day or two later, just to showing them how nasty it looked. And they still had not said, yeah, we got to stitch you again. They said, oh no, it'll heal. I'm like, okay. But if it doesn't, I'm documenting it along the way, just in case. Mike says, cannabis cream works awesome. It takes the pain. Yeah, well, this isn't painful. It's not painful. Yeah, I'm fine pain-wise, guys. Okay, so Janna says activate YouTube's dubbing features. Yeah, I don't know where to do that, dude. Let me see. Okay, I have my settings open. Let me see. Demographics. Yeah, I mean, if you can tell me where to do it real time, or if it is possible to do real time, I'll do it. But I'm looking. Visibility. Yeah, I'm not seeing. I don't know where to do that. Dubbing. Yeah, if you can find where to do that, sure, let me know. Dale's back. Dale is off the shitter. He's back on the road. Not sure how long I'll have phone reception. I'll stay tuned until it drops out. Good enough. That's all you can do. George says Arnica is very toxic, but the pills are homeopathic, meaning almost zero Arnica. Oh, okay. So, well, wait, it's toxic, but it's good to put the cream on? What the heck? Works better topically. So the pills are basically worthless. Interesting. Eliminating oxalates from your diet for 2 to 3 weeks. One of the things I've been trying to do in addition to fasting, like once a month or so, is cut down on the amount of sugar that I consume. If there's a flaw in my diet, it's that there's too much sugar. So I am trying to do that. That being said, I don't know what oxalates are, if I'm being honest, George, but I have a feeling that you'll let me know. Take aloe vera internally. It's almost useless as a topical except for sunburn. How do you do that? Eat it? Take a bite out of an aloe vera leaf, George? Buggy Danny. Duff, I have a Prusa Mini and I've outgrown it. Need to be able to do larger prints. Would you recommend a Bamboo A1, P1S, or X1C? Well, I have all three, Danny. And I actually had a Prusa. I had two Prusa Minis actually. I was able to sell one to one of my YouTube subscribers. The other one I tried to sell locally through Facebook Marketplace and had it on there for a couple months and just I could not sell it. I had it for like $100, like next to nothing. And I wound up just donating it to Goodwill. I'm just like, whatever. As far as the prints go, the printers, the Bamboo printers, it's a matter of if money is an issue for you or not. If money isn't a huge issue, get the X1C. If you're on a tighter budget, get the A1. They all have the same build, basically the same build volume. So almost anything you can print on an X1C, you can print on an A1. X1C has additional features that an A1 does not, but I started with an A1. I bought a used X1C, and then I bought a new P1S when Bamboo was doing that a great deal for a P1S and an AMS for $6.99. So all three are good. It's just a matter of what your monetary restrictions are. I love the Bamboo Lab environment. Yeah, just let me show you what I just got done printing. I've gotten into this thing where I print a lot of stuff and I give it away. I take it to work and people at work like them, and people at work are collecting a lot of the stuff that I print. And my one of the guys in my department, he has 3D printers as well, and he prints stuff and we just give it away. Which it's not the best monetary move, but I don't know. We just kind of like spreading the love. But one of the things I've been printing a lot of, because everyone loves this, is these Fidget Stars, right? It just looks like this is color shifting filament, but it's cool. And I don't know how well I can show this on camera, but it just bends every way you can imagine, and it makes this crazy sound. Now, if you have it on a hard surface, I'm going to just do it on my desk so you can hear it. So people that are like fidget people, they like fidget spinners, they love this thing. Yeah, I've probably given away about, I don't know, a dozen of these at work already. And I just made a bunch more. So, yeah, it's the amount of things that you can do on these Bamboo Lab printers is pretty amazing. I would definitely encourage you to get into the Bamboo sphere. I was a hardcore Prusa guy, but ever since I got the Bamboo Lab A1, there's no turning back for me. I love the Bamboo printers. Dale's going from Galgal to Wagga Wagga. Those are actual town names in Australia. What the hell? You guys have some strange names. All right. Let's see. I'm just looking at my list here. Cross off things that I've talked about. Did that. Okay. Larry, in Brazil, they speak Portuguese, not Spanish. That's right. Now you mentioned that, Larry. That's right. I forgot. Although there are a lot of similarities between Portuguese and Spanish, they are different. So thank you for the correction. Mike can get me the best Arnica in Mexico and ship it to you, buddy. It's the beat, ain't watered down. Are you talking about pills or topical stuff, Mike? Rexy Worro, hey, what's up? How much does it cost to print that super cool star? What do you mean? Well, I mean, as far as filament costs, this, and that's the great thing about this is this. You can hear me playing with it. The great thing about that is it's actually a fast print. Like that, I can print that in less than 2 hours, which in 3D printing world is very fast. And the amount of filament that's used, oh, I don't know. God, I bet I can make at least 10 of those on a filament roll, if not more. And a roll of filament is anywhere from $15 to $25. So do the math. Doesn't cost that much. Simon, giving stuff away is good karma farming. Yeah, I've been doing it for years actually. Ever since I got into 3D printing, I've given away stuff at work. We have employees at work that like their cubicles are just filled with 3D prints. Filled. Murray says Wagga Wagga is pronounced Wagga Wagga. Sounds like a Boston accent. Wagga Wagga. PJ's here. PJ. Hey, what's up, buddy? PJ Wares. Mike, what printer would you suggest to print EUC pads with? I'm trying to get budget $700 to $800. Well, an A1. Let's see. Let's go printer shopping together. Mike, let me bring it up. And Bamboo is pretty good with running sales, but let's see what their current prices are. That's the A1 Mini. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, they also have the A1 Mini, which is like the A1, but with a smaller build plate. All right, let's see what we got here printer-wise. Yeah, their flagship printer is the H2D, which is a larger format printer, which I might get down the road. Okay, oh wow, the A1. Okay, the A1 is only $349. Is that with an AMS? No. Okay. Yeah, if you want to get it with a multicolor option, which is what I have, and which is what you would want, that's $499. But as far, I mean, if all you want to do is print pads, Mike, you don't need to spend that much. But I would just say that this printer just allows you to do so much more than just print pads. Here's the P1S. This is one of my printers that I have. This is nice, again, because of the multifunction capability. The enclosure allows you to print materials that require higher temperatures easier because the build space is heated. Yeah, so this is up to 869. Oh wait, no, it's not. Okay, that's something else. $749. Okay, so they only raised it $50 from the sale price. So for $749, you can get this, which is basically what one of my printers is exactly. So I mean, any modern printer, Mike, can print pads. Pads are printed with a filament called TPU. I've printed that for years on my other printer. So if that's all you care about, there's lots of cheaper options. But if you want something that can do that and much more, I would recommend one of these Bamboo Lab printers, personally. I think they're awesome. Mike can get topical stuff. Nice. Murray sounds like a slinky. Yeah, kind of. But it's funny. Like I said, a bunch of employees have them, and and some people love those kind of things, those noises and stuff, like ASMR kind of stuff. I guess some people hate them. Like I've had people unhappy that staff have these because not only are they doing them, but everyone else that has one is doing them simultaneously, making all kinds of noise, which is annoying some people. But that's not my problem. That's their manager's problem. Marty is here. What's up, Marty? Marty from Southern California. Welcome, buddy. Welcome. Everything I've heard about you and the Oryx, you love the Oryx. I'm happy for you. It does sound like a wheel made in heaven for you. Simon Waga translates to crow in the Wiradjuri Aboriginal language. Wagga Wagga means many crows. Okay. Thank you for the language lesson or history lesson. Oh, wow. Dale just learned that as well. Nice. Nice. Brian, hey, Duff, just joining. Question. Think back when you started EUCs as you look back and into the future. Part one, is the EUC market in vehicles where you thought back then? And two, what is the future ahead? Yeah, Brian, I mentioned earlier in the stream how one of the things I've been doing recently, like when I get caught up in my regular podcasts, is I've been going back and listening to old podcasts, old PEV live streams, my live stream. I'm in the middle of episode 20, and those were back in the 2018, 2019 timeframe. And in episode 20, they had just released the Nikola, and also King Song had announced the 16X. And it's funny how perspective has changed. As I was reading down the specs of a 16X back then, I noted that it was 51 pounds, the 16X, and I said, "Oh wow, it's pretty heavy." 51 pounds, and yeah, back then that was a heavy wheel, right? So perspective has definitely changed. I don't know back then if I gave a lot of thought to where EUCs were going. I know at that time, 2018, I never thought the suspension would be a thing for EUCs. It never entered my mind that would even be a possibility, to be quite honest. And then the S18 came around, and the V11, and that changed things. And to me, that made that was probably the biggest change to EUCs that made a big difference to me. The older I've gotten, the more problematic my lower body has been, the joints of my lower body. And having suspension makes it way, way better for me. So what's the future ahead? Well, I mean, the future ahead probably is tied into battery technology. It'd be great if you could get similar range and battery capacity out of a much lighter battery pack. And I presume that is going to happen as time goes on and technology gets more widely accepted and widely implemented. The newer battery technologies. I did not think that EUCs would be as expensive as they are. I didn't think that $4,000 EUCs were going to be a thing. Again, back on the episode 20 live stream, I was saying how those wheels, the Nikola and the 16X, were going to be right around $2,000, and I'm like, oof, it's getting up there. That was a lot of money to me, and now we're double that, and it's not unusual for wheels to come out scraping that $4,000 price point and above. So something else I want to talk about. Hold on, Marty. I mentioned I did mention. I mentioned in regards to the older live streams how I used to prepare more, and I used to take notes of things I wanted to talk about if I got caught up on chat, and I stopped doing that at some point. I don't really remember when or why, but I did actually write some notes down here. So yeah, this is about as prepared as I've been in probably a couple of years. So I don't know if I answered your question completely, Brian, but yeah, to me, the future ahead is all about battery technology. That's what I think. Do I care or think it's a good idea to keep increasing the performance level? You know, Bigode has the race, right? The race is that 210 volts, I believe. I don't know what the projected top speed of it is. I don't really care. But I mean, do I think it's smart to put out wheels that can go 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour? No. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's not me. It's not for me to say if it's smart or not. All I can say is I have no interest whatsoever in a wheel that goes that fast. And to me, the segment of the community that has real interest in that kind of wheel is very small. So I don't know. We'll see. But it seems logical that the performance envelope will continue to increase. Let's see. So we got some Australia talk. Okay, he's translating. Janna is translating for me. Thank you very much for trying to add subtitles and dubbing in your other live streams or videos. You can activate the automatic dubbing feature in YouTube Studio. You can do it live, or you can do it live though. Well, hold on, let me see if I hop into YouTube Studio. I was actually in here earlier today. I really don't think I can do it right here though. Yeah, like in YouTube Studio, I don't even see this live right now. So, but I'll look at it. I'll look at it, Janetta, because I agree. It is nice to be able to do that. It's fun, and there's also AI translations too that you see people doing. It's funny. One of the things I want to talk about is Zen Lee, who's actually is for some reason changed his name on social media back to his real name, Lee Southard, instead of Zen Lee. But he was watching the F-18 video that's done by either Ukrainian or Russian. It might be Ecola that was doing it, and it clearly was using AI translation voiceover, and it seemed like Zen didn't realize that because he was like because like AI translation is okay, but it's not perfect, and there was like weird things like it was calling King Song a King Dong, and I'm not sure that he caught on that some of the mistakes in the voiceover was just because it was AI. So, but anyways, yeah. Simon says, now that we're over 200 volt wheels, do you think they will be a cap soon? How much more powerful will they get, do you think? Well, again, back then in UC Livestream number 20, those were 84 volt wheels. They later had a 100 volt version of the Nikola, but the original Nikola and the 16X was 84 volts. Now we are more than twice that in price, more than twice that in voltage. Is there a cap? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's really about demand, right? Because it's great if you make a wheel that goes 100 miles an hour, but manufacturers are not going to be incentivized to make those wheels if they are not big sellers. And yeah, I don't have an interest in that. Maybe more people have an interest in that than I realize, but I don't think so. Yeah, oh, yeah. There's something I can talk about. Yeah, those of you that didn't see, Jack did a social media post on, I don't know, Instagram, Telegram, or not Telegram, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, that he thought was funny, to demonstrate the water resistance of the NOSFET arrow. And in the video, he's down there on his knees holding the arrow, and it's meant to look like someone is urinating on the arrow and then into Jack's mouth, and Jack is thirstily lapping up the liquid that is being directed his way, again meant to simulate urination. And yeah, funny. I mean, I guess it was funny, but at the same time, I kind of cringed. I'm like, and I think I commented on one of the places it was posted because it was posted everywhere. I think Jack was proud of it. That might be something that he regrets doing in the future. I mean, Jack now is. I mean, he's not just a YouTube content creator. He's the face of NOSFET. And should you be posting content in social media that simulates drinking urine, having someone pee on you in your mouth? Probably not. Probably not. Of course, that's my opinion. That's my opinion, but yeah, probably not the best decision. Cocoa biscuits. Any tips for learning on a V13? Oh my goodness! Wow, that is not ideal in my opinion. I can mount and go in a straight line so far. Turning scared of. Yes, that's a tough wheel to learn on, dude. Um, one of the things I want to talk about is the pedal drop kit that I installed in my V13. That I got the bracket from How Ning Ning, and even me that I've had the V13 for over a year. I've ridden the V13 quite a bit. I hadn't ridden it recently for various reasons, but getting back out on that thing and turning. Now, keep in mind, I've been riding EUC since 2016 or something like that. It was hairy for me, and the reason it's hairy is because that wheel is so heavy, and to have that much weight tipping, it's disconcerting, right? It is not a good wheel to learn on, to be quite honest. I understand you probably bought it because you didn't want to outgrow it or whatever, but that is not easy. Um, Turning, I mean, your turns are going to be big at first, and then they hopefully as you trust it more, they'll get smaller. um the best tip for turning is point your shoulders in the way you want to turn. However you point your shoulders is the way that the wheel is going to go. So, but give yourself a big open space. Don't try to do tight turns right away. Work up to that. But I can understand the difficulty there, and like I said, that is not an easy wheel to learn on. Some people do that. They buy big, heavy wheels as their first wheel, and they learn, but it is definitely not the easiest thing to learn on. I learned a 9x1 E Plus, a 16-inch wheel, very small, slow, but good to learn on and durable. We got. Are we talking? What was hilarious? Are we talking about Jack's video or the F18 E Coca video? They also, oh, he took it down, but oh, did he take it down? He took it down. All right. Okay. So someone did consult him and say, "Hey, Jack, not the best thing for the face of a company." Although I did hear that the Bago guy in China did a number of things that you wouldn't think are that appropriate for the face of a company either, from what I've heard. But he didn't post it on social media. Marty says, when considering prices and features, EUCs are actually not more expensive. I've actually analyzed it. Well, uh, what are your data points, Marty? Are your data points speed and range? I'm sure. I do not doubt that you've analyzed it because that is who you are. But I would be curious specifics of what you base that on. Murray giving some advice on turning. If you can go straight, you can turn. Yeah. Okay. Well, he basically just said what I said, kind of. Yeah. Well, look where you want to go. That's also like a primary tip that I give people learning to ride, because so many people when they're starting to ride, they look down at their feet while they're trying to ride, and that's like the worst thing you can do. Just look ahead, and your body will kind of figure out how to do it. Um, First Alcolo done. I'm gonna go get another one. I don't know that I can do more than two. And again, I apologize for jumping around. It is ironic. I was listening again. How many times have I said this? That I was listening to PEV live stream number 20. And on that PEV live, someone asked me earlier if my girlfriend has interest in EUCs. And I said, no, not really. But the on PEV live stream number 20, it actually coincided on my 6-year anniversary with Cindy. And those of you that are longtime viewers of the channel, listeners to the channel, you know that Cindy was a big part of my videos back then. And even when I would do live stream, sometimes she would live stream with me. It was weird. It was weird going back to that time and place where she was so heavily involved with everything I was doing. So I find there's good and bad parts to going back in time. And it's not like it's bad, but it's just different, right? It just my life just feels so much different than what it was back then. But it gives me opportunities to reflect. Sometimes it's good to reflect. Larry, the Oryx is $49.99 in the eWheel site. Yeah, well, Zen got an Oryx. It's funny, like Zen, and one of the things I want to talk about is Zen's reaction to the F18 video. And Zen did another video on UL certification, which I thought was interesting. I think sometimes Zen tries to be a little controversial just to get some views, but he has said repeatedly that he loves his Oryx, but evidently he's had a number of problems, and one of the problems involves him getting a new system board. So I don't know exactly what his problems have been, but he loves the Oryx, but there's issues with his. I haven't heard Marty say anything about his issues, so hopefully Marty is good. But yeah, $49.99. But according to Marty, that's not more expensive than wheels back in 2018, 2019, based on his data points. I would tend to disagree. A lot of things happen between then and now. COVID whacked things out, whacked container shipping prices out, whacked everything, tariffs, all that crap. But even when those things went away, especially COVID, so many businesses, even though the situations that happened during COVID, what's the matter? What's wrong? What? Is it thundering? She acts like she's looking for a place to hide. All right, let me open up this door so she can hide. Here, you want to go in here? Yeah, sometimes she hears things I don't hear. It was cute last night during the draft. We had a storm, and she hopped up on the sofa between two of the guys that were there, and like hid behind them, and they put a blanket over her, and she stayed there for like 90 minutes while it was storming. She is even I always thought that she would like grow out of as fearful as she is, but no, she never has. So, anyways, $49.99, yeah, for the Oryx. And Marty's going to tell me why it's not more expensive. But my point was, and this has annoyed me, and this happens in so many industries repeatedly. Like there'll be some sort of situation that raises the prices, right? Our costs have increased. We got to raise the price to compensate for that. Tariffs, COVID, whatever, fuel prices. And then those situations relax. Those additional costs to manufacturers relax, but the prices do not. Once that price is established, they are not going to give back whatever their costs have been reduced by. No, that's the new price. So that annoys me. It really annoys me, even though I guess it's a common business practice. And I had a situation with YouTube actually, specifically about the NFL Sunday Ticket. That's along those lines, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Dale's internet's dropping out. See you, buddy. Simon, you ordered a race, really? $23.80? How did you get it for that cheap? I don't even know what the list price is on a race. Let me look. I am curious if Marty cares about a race. I mean, Marty wants every wheel, but I mean, I don't know what he would need a race for, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he wants one. E-wheels. Okay, let's see if we can find the race on here. Falcon. Oh, I'm sorry, F-22 Pro. $4,000. Where's the race? E-wheels. E-wheels doesn't have the race on their site, really? Panther $5,000. Sherman L 4,500. No, oh wow! I'm surprised that they don't have the race on their system, on their website. Huh? Still saying selling EX20Ss though, and 16Xs. Wow, you can still buy a 16X. Wow, really? A new 16X? You can buy a new 16X? No shit. 1749. Yeah, no race on e-wheels. Interesting. But Simon said he can get one for 2380. That does sound good. I don't even know. I haven't looked much at the race other than I know that the voltage is 210 volts. I don't even know what site. Wait, the battery pack was 3,000 watt hours, right? Yeah. But I haven't poured over the specs page, so yeah, I mean, to me that sounds like a good price based on prices of other things. That was a special intro price. Who did you buy it through a dealer or direct from Bagode, Simon? Marty, you have a dirty mind in regard to Jack's video. That never occurred to me. Marty, I think you might be fibbing. And even if it didn't occur to you, it occurred to a lot of people. And that isn't something that someone that is the face of a company should be doing, in my opinion. But whatever. Oh yeah, the Bagode website. I did notice that like Bagode is selling direct, like it's bagode.com, right? Let's go here. Let's go there. Which I thought that's something else I have not talked about, which is interesting. That Bagode, and I'm sure dealers are not thrilled about this, that Bagode is selling direct. Now the question is, what do you do if you have a problem? Okay, 2780. How much shipping, Simon? Panther 4,400. So they are undercutting dealer prices clearly, although I don't know what. Okay, let's see what shipping is. Let's say I want to buy a Panther 4,400. If they charge 500 shipping, then it's a wash, right? All right, so I got one now. Okay, check out. Shipping. All right. No, I'm not buying a Panther, but let's just see. Wow. Okay, so it's free shipping, really? Huh. So they are undercutting e-wheels by $600. Interesting. And of course, knowing their cost, because the dealer pays approximately 50% of retail, or at least it seems that way. Yeah, they're cutting out the dealer, or they're cutting the dealer and making more money on a wheel. So, because imagine them selling a wheel to a dealer for $2,500, or they can sell direct to the public for $4,400. Yeah, which one do they make? Which situation do they make more money? Pretty easy to figure out. Interesting. Like I said, I am curious what happens. What happens if you need parts? What happens if you need service? Then you're screwed, I guess. I don't know. Oh, okay. Let's read about the warranty. 1-year warranty. Okay. Shock absorber 6 months. Main board battery 1 year in the motor. The seat, cushion, tire, power pads 3 months. But what do you do if you need help? I would be fine. But I mean, if you need parts, if you need a warranty part, if something dies, I am curious how that's resolved. But that's interesting that they are doing that. I had heard people talk about it. I did load the site quickly just to look at it, but I didn't realize that they were undercutting like that. So Simon got a race for $400 less than that, 2070. Wow, with free shipping. Huh. C8 for $1,800. Yeah, because the C8 at a dealer is what, 2,300, 2,400. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, it would be very interesting to get feedback from how dealers feel about that, because that is significant. That's enough savings that's going to motivate someone to buy from them directly, for sure. Mike says the race, I believe it's only Begode selling it, monopolized the market. Bad move for retailers. Oh, that's the only way you can get the race is direct from Begode? Okay, I didn't know that either, Mike. Interesting. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's. I mean, see, the problem is if that does well for them, yeah, they're going to be encouraged to move more to that model. Now, InMotion is way ahead of them in that regard, whereas because they have U.S. operations, and if you buy an InMotion wheel, a lot of situations it's coming from the United States. These Begode wheels, as far as I know, are coming from China. So how long are you waiting? Like, do you have any idea, Simon, how long you have to wait? Now you're in Australia, so you're much closer. But how long do you have to wait for your race? This is very interesting. You save 30%. Wow. Okay. Simon says the shipping's free. We have to pay 25% extra tax for Australia. I wonder if the United States has to pay anything. Simon says it has a warning and part. I saw that, but how do you get the parts? That's my question. You have to contact Begode? Like how do you? Yeah, I'm just curious how that works. Thank you, Murray. Even though I do have it as a pinned comment, if you're in the live stream and you want to do me a favor, do me a solid, hit that like button. Take 2 seconds and hit that like button. That will promote stream visibility and encourage YouTube to show it to others on replay. So yeah, and it's absolutely free. Hitting that like button. Oh, Danny just asked what I was curious about, the tariffs. Yeah, I wonder how that works. That's a good question. Simon just orders your parts from AliExpress. If it's out of warranty, they always arrive pretty quickly. Yeah, I'm just more curious about a warranty situation. Say a main board blows for whatever reason, or a shock goes bad, or whatever. But yeah, the race. I mean, the race. Let's look at the specs of the race together. Since I said oh shit, why did I do that? Okay, and let's make me disappear. There we go. Okay, it's a 20-inch wheel. Oh, it's a. Oh, okay. So the battery's 3,800 watt hours. Why did I think it was 3,000? Okay, 3,800 watt hour battery. That's a nice size pack. 210 volts, 50 S cells, 5,000 watt high speed motor, tubeless, good. 48 MOSFETs, smart BMS, which is kind of standard nowadays. 20 amp charging. A lot of wheels have that. A semi-hot melt tubeless tire. Not quite sure what that means. My assumption is it just means I don't know. It's good for the road, right? Good for racing, maybe. It's grippy. Comes with pads, pad-free angle adjustment. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe they're talking about the foot pedals can be adjusted, maybe angle. Spiked pedals, height adjustable. That's nice. I saw a clip that Ronan posted that it looks like the pedal height on the race is low, which is good for stability. Could be a problem with turning. Sometimes when you have your pedals too low, and I've seen this happen with guys that race, that they're really are leaning into turns. And I've seen people hit a pedal and wipe out. So low is good, but too low is not good in a racing situation from what I have seen, even though I've never raced, but I have watched a lot of videos. Let's see, the mid-mount suspension. I wonder, do you think that Begode is getting away from the link style suspension, rear linkage suspension? They're just going to go mid-mount? Interesting. So yeah, there it is. Look at going off road with a race. Begode Club has over 30 clubs across China. Really interesting. And there's the international race, which will also be in Malaysia this year, right? Wow, very interesting. Okay, stop sharing and black screen. I'll come back. Larry says next gen has a C8 with 50S batteries for $19.99. So yeah, next gen is competitive with their pricing. Actually, they're the price leader, it seems, compared to other dealers. The model on Begode is $1,900 for 50S. No, well, probably maybe mean 50 GBs, maybe, Larry. Let's see. I don't have you up on the screen right now. That's $1,800 with 50 GBs. Yeah, the GBs, which are lower performance cells than the 50S. If you go to 50S, it's $1,900, right? So pound for pound, it's only $100 less than next gen. So that's less significant. But the other wheels, the other wheels compared to other dealers, the price difference is more significant. And I would agree, Larry says, so it's basically $99 more for next gen to get it for you, since they are not based in LA anymore. They'd probably be shipping for US and SoCal. Where are they based now, Larry? But yeah, for $100 more to get dealer support, I think would be worth it. Now, if you're paying full boat shipping, that could be a good expense. Simon, if it's in warranty, I can order from Begode. I have a friend who speaks Chinese and can contact them for me. He does all the communication with Begode for our local group when we do group buys. Oh, nice, dude. Okay, well, that sounds ideal. Okay, Marty, getting back to this idea about wheels are not more expensive than they were in 2018, 2019, based on what you get for them. My 1600 watt hour ACM in 2017 cost $1,470. Use Google to translate that to 2025. Double or triple the battery's features, and they are cheaper now. Okay, so you're factoring inflation into that. Okay, $1,500 in 2017. Or what in 2025? So $1,500 in 2017 has the same purchasing power as $1,900 in 2025. So, yeah, I don't know, Marty. Does that okay? So you think because of the range and features that they are cheaper, even though $1,500 is actually $1,900 in 2025? I don't know. And I don't. And to be quite honest, does it matter? I don't know. I think wheels are too expensive still. I think $4,000 is a lot of money. Back then, a top end wheel was $2,000. Today, a top end wheel, even though the specs have increased, kind of like computers. Like computers are faster, better, but they have remained more or less in the same price range. Wheels have not. So, but I understand what you're saying, Marty. I just don't really agree with it. I still think that there's been aggressive profit increases from then to now, where money that was spent to cover additional costs then was never reduced when those costs changed. Mike says e-wheels were never warned about the race. They place their orders in. I talked with Jason. He's paying all the tariffs on all his wheels, he told me, and that's why their prices are the way they are. Okay. All right. Oh, Next Gen is now in North Cal, where Rob lives. Rob Fail. When James was alive, it was based in Los Angeles. Okay. Well, I didn't. Okay. All right. So they okay, but I mean, I don't know anything about Next Gen's operation. I mean, they don't have like a repair center, right? They basically are just facilitators for wheels. Like, I don't. Is that correct, Larry? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, or the people don't send in their wheels to Next Gen to get them fixed. Like the Next Gen can facilitate parts and stuff, warranty stuff, and get them parts, I guess. But they don't like have a repair center, right? Mike says, I agree with Marty on batteries and certain things, but back then, yeah, they didn't have suspension and all the different things that are implemented now. So yeah, are those worth 3,000 bills? Yes, Marty says the first 100 races were cheaper. Yeah, Simon mentioned that. Simon said that he got his for $23.80. That seems like a good deal to me. With all those specs, it definitely seems like a good deal. And that being said, Marty, are you looking to get a race? Because God knows you need more wheels. You didn't know that the goat has a warehouse in California? The goat? Who's the goat? I know E-Wheels has a warehouse in California. What are you talking about? Oh, the Gotway? Bagode? No. If that's what you're saying, Marty, I'm trying to read between the lines. I do not know that Bagode has a warehouse in California. If that's what you're saying. Larry's understanding is that Next Gen has folks in big cities who can fix stuff for you. Yeah, well, E-Wheels uses the same guys, I believe, or at least walk you through in FaceTime. Okay. Yeah, because I know E-Wheels does that. So, okay, cool. Larry says they're still working it out post James. Yeah, understandable. Mike says Marty has at least 17 wheels. I thought he was closer to 20, actually. Are you done, honey? You done? Okay, we'll close that then, okay? Okay, you don't need it. You're good. There's no storm. It's okay. 17 wheels. Yeah, I thought he was closer to 20, Mike, but I don't know. I've given up on trying to. I mean, Marty's kind of like a drug addict, where he can't help himself. He just has to own wheels. He can't help himself. Larry says the wheels are talking again about Next Gen. They may ship into Los Angeles, but I guess our locals could go down to the port of LA. Okay. Simon, Trump put a tariff freeze on Chinese goods for 90 days. Tariffs are still currently 10%. They're only 10%? I did hear that about the freeze, but I thought that they were higher than that. I didn't think it was 10%. Okay. All right, so I am caught up on chat. So let me talk about some of the things that I put in my notes. What time is it? 9:25. Yeah, I'll go to 10-ish or so. That's my plan. I don't know if I mentioned in the last live stream. Did I mention that my M10? I put it on social media, I think, somewhere. But my M10 III is gone. The M10 III that I owned since might have been 2018. I actually sold that to one of my subscribers that I've sold a couple wheels to, actually. And when he got it, he promptly changed all the plastics. It used to be a white original M10 III. It is now black with, I think he put different pedals on it as well. Let me see if I can pull it up. I have pictures of it somewhere. Sorry for burping. Yeah, there it is. Okay, damn it. I keep hitting the wrong option when I'm trying to share my screen. Okay. Yeah, there is my M10 III. He took the guts of it and moved it over to a new case. Is there another one? I mean, it looks nice. Yeah, there it is. On one of the old original EUC Army stands. That is an oldie. Yeah, wow. Yeah, new pads and everything. Looks like a brand new wheel. Yeah, he loved the M10 III and he wanted to have his own as a throw around wheel. And I sold it to him cheap, but God, what did I sell it to him for? I think it was like $200 in shipping. That was it. So yeah, M10 III is gone. Like I've been trying to just kind of condense and clean up and be more realistic, not only about my wheels, but in general, things that I don't need, which is an extension of what happened when I moved. I did a massive purge of things and a realignment of my thinking, to be honest, when I moved, and I'm kind of getting more and more into that mode now. Okay. Okay, I'm crossing off list items. I actually have more than I thought I would. What we got here? Stan, how does King Song keep a pulse? Did anyone buy the F-22? Okay, well that'll lead into my King Song story. Zen Lee did a video talking about the F-18. King Song has been pushing the F-18. It's funny, like the F-22, that was announced, God, a year ago, I bet. And the F-22 came out, and it seemed to be a nicely built wheel. It had a dihedral angle on its pedals that I could not deal with. Some people don't care about that. Had the highest at the time voltage of any wheel of 176 volts. Had some nice features included with it. Seemed to have decent build quality, suspension on all four corners, which has never been done before. And the suspension, like I said, I owned one briefly for about like a month. Suspension was good. It felt good. But their availability was poor. The rollout was they delivered a few up front, and then the F-22 kind of got a reputation of being an underperforming wheel, underperforming on the top end, basically. With the highest voltage out there, people expected it to be a very high performance wheel, speed wise. Being able to go 60 miles an hour realistically. But what people found was they had a very hard time getting by 45 miles an hour with the wheel before it would beep. So that wheel, even though it had a lot of things that were positive overall, it seems like it's a flop as far as I can tell. It's heavy. I mean, over 100 pounds. It was a heavy wheel. But the F-18 is basically meant to be a lynx killer. And my point has been from the get-go with the F-18 is, who is looking for a lynx killer now? Anyone that wants a lynx already bought a lynx. The lynx has been out for how long? 1.5 years, 2 years? I don't know. Anyone that wants a Lynx has a Lynx. So why is Kingsong building a wheel with Lynx specs? 151 volts, has a suspension. Instead of being on the corners, it is 4 shocks, but they're closer to the pedals. Supposedly has better rigidity. I watched the same Ecocola video that that Zen was commenting on today. Kingsong has been posting a lot of stuff on social media with the F18 doing cool things, climbing very steep inclines, a lot of off-road stuff. Great, I guess. Ecocola, their video on it seemed more or less positive. Their biggest negative was they didn't like that they couldn't put their own pads on the wheel without removing the rear kickstand. And they said that the plastics on the wheel were kind of cheap, I guess. They weren't impressed with some of the components of the wheel that were plastic. But overall, they had a pretty positive review of it, I would say. I don't even know what the F18 is going to sell for. It's not on eWheels. I don't know who's selling the F18. Let me see. Is Alien Ride selling it? I don't know who's selling it. Kingsong posted not only those ride videos, but also like pictures from their plant where they have a whole bunch of F18s ready to go. They're ready to go. But the question is, who's going to buy them? What the heck? On Alien Rides, let's see. I'm just curious if they have the F18 on there. They still have the F22, $34.99, but I don't know. Okay, they don't have the F18. Who's selling the F18? eWheels, I was on there earlier. They did not have it, so I don't know. I don't understand releasing a wheel that's designed to be better Lynx 2 years after the Lynx was released. I don't understand that strategy. But I mean, Kingsong does a lot of things that I don't understand. So to answer your question, Sam, do they have a pulse? I don't know. They seem to be behind the times. There's a couple things like I said with the F22 Pro, the dihedral angle of the pedals was too steep for me. It caused me significant discomfort in my feet and ankles. With the F18, they actually did make that dihedral angle changeable, which is nice, I guess. Too bad they didn't do it with the F22. But it also has that screen. I do not like the screen on the Kingsong wheels that have been on the Kingsong wheels since the F22 or the S22. That large, low resolution dot matrix display. I think it sucks. Yeah, it's big, but it sucks. I mean, you're very limited on what you can show with it. It sucks. I mean, I prefer the LEDs that are on the Bigode wheels to that dot matrix display that Kingsong uses. I think it sucks. So, but they I don't know. They must have bought a lot of them because they put them on all their wheels, it seems. Rexy's leaving. All right. Mike says there's a talk about a Lynx too. Oh yeah, like the Patent S, they're going to have a Lynx S. Well, I mean, if they did, it would be logical that they would. The Oryx is now 107. Is it? It's 176, right, Marty? It would make sense if they were going to upgrade the Lynx to the new 176 volt level. That would make sense, I guess. I'm not sure what other improvements they would do to the Lynx, but that would be an interesting upgrade, to get that level of power and a lighter wheel. Stan said it would sell out in minutes. A Lynx too. Well, it depends, Stan, what you're actually getting, I guess. Mike says the best display on any wheel by far is the InMotion V12S. Yes, that's one of the things that I have repeated many times when I've been doing my V12S videos and just talking about it in general. The screen on the V12S, as well as the other amenities on the V12S, is top notch. I love the screen on the V12S. I love the screen on the V12. I love the screen on the V13. The V12S is like 2 to 3 times bigger, and it's great. It's like having the app on the wheel. I love it. I wish more manufacturers did that. Okay, so now let me look at my list here. What else is on here? I don't talk a lot about one wheel stuff. I do still have my one wheel GT. I do not get to ride it very much, but One Wheel did announce a new wheel that was coming out this past week. The One Wheel, what's the official name of it? I don't know. Hold on. It's the XL. One Wheel. It's the let me share this. I did it again. Shit. The Alcolo must be affecting me. The One Wheel GTS Rally XL. Is it? Yeah, I mean, just keep tacking stuff on there. This is basically a GTS one wheel that they actually made it bigger. It's actually slightly bigger. It's a bigger motor / tire. The board is slightly longer. This is the first time that One Wheel has made a board bigger than the original One Wheel Plus and XL. They actually went bigger. Their thought being that bigger allows it to handle more terrain, and which makes sense. Or you can just buy an EUC, something with suspension. And the reason I brought this up is, I was talking about how EUCs are expensive and getting too expensive. I don't know if you can see that, but the price of a One Wheel XL starting from $3,500. $3,500 for a one wheel. For reference, when I bought my One Wheel XL, when I got into the hobby, yeah, oh my God. Oh wow, okay, so they have a Rally XL Summit. What's the difference with that? Charger plug, bumpers. Oh, you get a hypercharger. Wow, let's see. All right, so you can spend it with taxes. Yeah, that's gonna be a $4,000 board. Oh wait, they have another one. XL Epitome. $39.50. What the heck? FST system base kit. What the hell is that? Look at those pads. So what are those about? Are those supposed to be like foot stops to like kind of keep your foot on the wheel? What is that? $4,000? Oh, holy crap. So anyways, yeah, the reason I want to bring this up is this just kind of reinforces the ridiculous pricing that's going on out there. Marty doesn't say so. Again, for reference, my original One Wheel XL that I bought was top line board at the time. It was $18.99. So this is, if you want top of the line now, it's now more than double the price in a period of 6 years, something like that, 5 to 6 years. Best value. That's the best value, really? Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't even hear about the XL Epitome. Holy crap. That's crazy. So anyways, yeah, it's no. It's crazy. I mean, again, this is very much like just appealing to the very, very top end of one wheel riders. People don't need that. How much range does it have? I'm curious what you're spending that much money. I'm curious if the range is significantly better than a like a GT. Let's see. Range of 18 to 28 miles. No, so that's the same as a one wheel GT, basically, range wise. Top speed of 25 miles an hour. I mean, a lot of EUC riders look at this and they're like laughing, when you look at the specs of a one wheel GT XL and the price. So basically, if you get the top of the line one wheel GT XL, you're paying as much as a high end EUC. and high-end EUC is much, much more capable, in my opinion. One wheels are great. They're fun. They're fun. It's a different experience. But man, paying that much for one, holy crap! And granted, a one wheel is, it's an American company, so yeah, that's nice to support American company. But come on, man, the pricing is nuts. Mike says, I found out from Koba and his guest yesterday that some one wheels have suspension. No, this doesn't have suspension. It has a bigger motor, bigger tire, so the suspension on this is that you have more tire to kind of cushion the bumps and stuff. But no, oops, I'm sorry for hitting the mic. But no, there's no suspension on it. And there have been mods out there, third party, that you can put suspension on a one wheel, but they have not been very popular from what I understand. Larry agrees that one wheel stuff is crazy. My GT is fine. Good grief. Exactly. That I have zero interest in upgrading. My one wheel GT does everything I need. I don't need to go faster on a one wheel. I don't need to have a bigger tire on my one wheel. I don't need to spend $4,000 on my one wheel. Jeez. Marty says, oh, so Bagode has a warehouse in Southern California. Okay, so they do. Yeah, no, I didn't know that, Marty. I didn't know that. So it's not an eWheels warehouse. It's a Bagode warehouse. So they have a significant stock there that they ship out of. So like when you buy from Bagode.com, it's coming from California. It's not coming from China. Is that what you're saying, Marty? Marty says the V12S with much more capability than a 1600 watt ACM costs only a few $100 more than the ACM in today's dollars. Much more capability. Let's see. I'm trying to remember how fast was an ACM. ACM can only go into the 20s, right, Marty? I'm struggling. The V12S can go 35-ish. My range test, I got 36 miles ACM. It's only 1600 watt hours. The V12S is like, V12S is like 1440, right? It's not. I don't know, Marty. I mean, the V12S has a lot of cool tech in it. I'm looking off stream here. V12S has suspension. I mean, I know how you used to love your ACMs, and Cindy's daughter's boyfriend had an ACM. I rode it several times. I didn't like that thing at all, but I know that you loved it. What the heck? Where's the... No, it doesn't matter. Whatever. But anyways, Marty, yeah, I still don't think it's a 1-to-1 correlation. That combination of inflation and features or specs that you get make it equal. I don't agree, but I do understand that it's not as lopsided as it looks. If you say, okay, well, this costs $2,000 in 2019 or 2018, now it's $4,000 to $5,000. But it is not apples to apples. It might be like apples to like caramel apples or something like that. Larry's going to teach his Kung Fu class. See you, buddy. Marty says, an Oryx has more than 3 times the battery capacity plus suspension, substantially better build, costs pound for pound cheaper. Batteries are not just features, but physical objects. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Pound for pound. So, but to me, well, I don't know, Marty. We're just got to agree to disagree here. But to me, making a wheel weigh double the weight of a wheel in 2018 is not a feature. That's not a positive feature. The wheels weigh double what they used to weigh. So, but whatever. Mike, the One Wheels Cold Crush on Cobra Show said they were made by Free Motion. What? What were the Rally GT XL Series S Rally XLs or what? S whatever freaking names, man. Marty says, "Who cares about King Song?" Well, I know. Yeah, I'm carrying less and less. I mean, my after the S22 Pro, all the shit I went through waiting for that damn thing, and then some of the issues I had, and the terrible suspension, and all the other issues that various people had with those wheels. And then dipping my toe back in with the F22 Pro, and then availability sucking, me waiting 3 months basically from Alien Rise to get that wheel, and then to get the wheel and have it be very painful for me to ride any more than 10 miles. That was kind of disappointing. That being said, I didn't pay full price for the wheel, thank God. But I did trade it for a Nosfet Aero, which so far I'm very happy with. Although I did not get a 1-for-1 value with a Nosfet Aero versus a Kingsong F22 Pro. But whatever. Whatever. Well, what's the point of that? I don't know. All right. Oh, I can cross another thing off my list. All right. 9:46. I can't go too long. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay. Scampster says King Song is irrelevant now. I think the F-18 is their idea of how to get relevant. But I don't know that people are looking for a Lynx replacement right now. I mean, if it was significantly better than a Lynx, but I don't know that it is. My EUC journey says the Kingsong S22 debacle pushed RevRide out of the EUC market. I did not realize that. Is RevRide out of business? I did not know that. RevRides. Okay, they still have a website. No, RevRides is still in business. I mean, as far as I can see, it looks like they're putting more. Okay, it looks like I guess I can share this. It looks like RevRides is now. They don't sell EUCs. They're selling electric dirt bikes, pit bikes, scooters. Interesting. So they got out of the EUC business. Okay, I did not know that. Interesting. Well, I mean, there's probably a bigger market for electric dirt bikes. I watch. Oh my God! I think the Alcolo is going to my head. Oh, yeah, it must be. Holy crap! Anyways, I'm familiar with the electric dirt bike scene somewhat, and yeah, it's funny that the name of the channel is right on the tip of my tongue, and I can't pull it out right now. Someone will pull it out, maybe. But anyways, yeah, there definitely is a bigger market for like Surons and those type bikes. So it looks like RevRides has gone that route. Interesting. Marty says in California, the cool kids are buying the Chinese one wheels with the not Vesa but Vesk, yeah, Vesk controllers and riding in the 30s and cheaper. Yeah. I know, Marty. I have seen that. Yeah, I would not want to ride a one wheel that style board in the 30s. Ooh, no thanks. Yeah, and cheaper. Yeah, they are cheaper. That sounds like a really bad idea to me, but yeah, I know people are doing it. Mike says they're the American company that makes one wheels, but what about the 16X, 18XL, or S18 or S22? Those were good, but yeah, Kingsong has definitely dropped the ball. Well, I mean, S22 was groundbreaking if it wouldn't have had so many freaking issues, right? I mean, it was announced it was going to come out, and then they had the fire in New York City, and then it got delayed forever. Then it came out, and it still had a bunch of problems. Remember, they had the loose stators in the motors, where you had bad stators. You had the suspension, the stupid suspension that was basically two metal rails just sliding together that got sticky and nasty if you rode it off road. You had a lot of system board failures. So the S22, even though when it was pitched, everybody was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be the best wheel ever." But in reality, it had a multitude of problems. To me, the last wheel that they made that was really, really good was the 16X, to be honest with you. I mean, the S19, okay. The S16, okay. But I thought they sold very little of them. So, yeah, I don't know what Kingsong's going to do. I don't know. I think InMotion has them beat badly when it comes to the consumer market. So, the mass consumer market. So, I don't know what they're going to do. Oh, my UC Journey, yeah. Rev Ride is now an e-bike dealer. I see that. Marty says the ACM could go in the upper 20s. Okay, good. Scamster, about to buy V12S to those who have one. Is it actually built well? I haven't heard a lot about its build quality. It is. Marty has an affiliate code with InMotion. I have an affiliate code with InMotion, Scamster. So feel free to use those if you want to. But anyways, people have talked about there's an odd. It is built well, but the thing that I think is weird is the thin skin that they have on top of it. That thin metal skin. That's put in with hex screws that are not very long. That is questionable, and like people have commented, when you put pads on it, like when you're pulling the pads, if you're pulling the pads off, you'll see like that metal flex is very thin. I mean, underneath that is very durable ABS plastic. So I think the wheel altogether is durable, but that is questionable to me that I don't know why they put that skin on, and I'm not crazy about the color of that metal. When you put full pads on, it kind of breaks up that color, so it's not really significant. But I do think that it is built well outside of that decision to put that thin skin on there. Does that thin skin cause an issue? Like if you wreck? No, I don't think so, especially if you have pads on it. But other than that, no, I think my impression is it's a well-built wheel, and InMotion wheels, generally speaking, nowadays are very well built. It's UL certified, has very safe batteries, has very strong water resistance. So there's a lot of good things about the V12S. A lot of tech features, the great screen, the best screen in electric unicycles that's out there. The USB ports to charge your devices, both USB-A, USB-C. Has the feature that if your wheel gets stolen, you can track it with the cellular modem. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things about the V12S. Now, did I say that the 12S is not more powerful than the ACM? No. It is. It has a higher wattage motor. I'm almost sure it does. No, it is. No, the ACM was what was that an 84-volt wheel, Marty? I think it was. No, the V12S is more powerful. It is. Mike says someone hit 55 miles an hour on a Vesk one wheel. What? Holy crap! That sounds awful. Oh my god. I can't imagine going that fast on a one wheel. Oh my god. My joints hurt just imagining the impact if you would fall on a one wheel going 55 miles an hour. Holy crap. Marty, he's still trying to. He's still trying to make his point. Marty likes to try to make his points. Wait, should I use the Marty voice? Weight doesn't drive the increased cost. Batteries do. Batteries weigh a lot. Thank you. Oryx has more than 3 times the batteries of the ACM. Batteries have not gotten cheaper over the years. I haven't tracked battery prices. I don't doubt that. I do not doubt that. But I mean, if you're saying that a $5,000 Oryx feature battery specs taken into account is the same value as a $2,000 Kingsong 16X, I'm not going to agree with you, Marty. Sorry. Simon says the S-22 exploding in New York was the moment that the Kingsong fell off. Yeah, that was bad. Thanks, you Stride. Marty says e-wheels will survive. Are we talking about in regards to Begode.com? E-wheels will survive because of the customer service. I bought a tire today and I'll have it Tuesday. Try that with any of the discount sellers or Begode. Yeah, true. No, I mean there's a certain consumer that definitely needs a dealer experience. Oh, we got Fluster Code Coach SX. We need to get rid of you. Let's see, how do we get rid of you? Oh, I gotta do it here, I think. Let's see. Where's he at? Or did one of my moderators get rid of it? Yeah, they did. Okay. I assume you did because I don't see it now on YouTube. Thank you in advance if someone did that for me. Scamster can't use affiliate code they buy from an Australian dealer. Fair enough. Marty says Rev Rides couldn't afford the insurance required for EUC liability. That's why he dropped EUCs. Okay. I did not know that, Marty. Thank you. And EUC Journey confirms that is the official reason. Mike says Kingsong should have gotten Roger, Brian, Law, and some of the best riders to promote and test their wheels before releasing anything. Went down the wrong way. Well, it used to be, dealers in the States used to get, demo wheels and send them around, and they still do it to a degree. But that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of fading away. And I think there was an advantage to doing that, but yeah, it's kind of a practice that it isn't really happening all that much anymore. My UC Journey says, yeah, they literally got a beta tester. He said best tester, but I think you mean beta tester, which is true. I guess maybe that was problematic. The manufacturer came out with a wheel, and that they thought was good, and they sent it out to various content creators. And then if a problem comes up, then oh shit, we have to go back to the drawing board, depending on what the problem is, and then that can delay the release cycle. So I don't know. Sterling says 50S cells are in China are $1 each when you buy 10,000. Wow, that's pretty cheap. Marty says, if you want the ultimate comfort ride, buy the V12S. How often do you change the pad? Thin metal is a yawn. Is a yawn for me. No, it's and like I said, it's not a deal killer, but it is weird. There's no other wheel that I've ever seen that has had that kind of configuration. and I don't think that it translates into a durability issue. And there are ways to move the pads without impacting the thin metal. I know Johnny Go Vroom actually put like long. He was concerned enough that he put longer screws in his V12S, the screws that hold that metal in. But I mean, I don't think that would stop it from flexing. So it's not a huge deal. And Marty, I like the ultimate comfort, of course. My UC journey says, I remember Doug also was testing S22 prototypes. I don't know who Doug is. Mike says, King Sung, they should have tested and take the writer's advice and make changes, then promote like InMotion does. Oh, Marty says he's saying a 4,800 watt hour ACM in 2017 would cost more than $5,000. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Did they have the technology to even do that back in 2017, Marty? Why does my name have a crown number 2 next to it? I don't know if you're aware of this, Marty, but YouTube introduced something where you, like, participants in a live stream, they're getting scored constantly. As you are making comments, you are earning XP, experience points, and based on that, it ranks you. Like right now, let me look on the YouTube interface at the top fans. Like right now, Green Master Mike is the top fan right now with 200 XP. Marty is number 2 with 150 XP, and Simon is number 3 with 150 XP. And I believe it's all based on your interaction with the stream. It's kind of confusing. Yes, Marty, you're number 3 out of the 19 ranked users currently. So congratulations on that. It's a new thing that they introduced. I think it's kind of trying to mimic some features on Twitch. Marty, did you notice I have a new microphone? After 7 years, 6-7 years, I have a new microphone finally. I like it. It's a Steel Series. My UC journey says Doug is Douglas Marshall from Portland. He won AVS 2023. I'm not familiar with him, but I believe you. Marty needs to send me a. I gotta do it, Marty. I wish I had the voice mod up, but I don't have it up right now. I need to send you a link to an economics 101 class. Please do, Marty. Please do, because I will. As soon as I see it, I will click it immediately. Murray says, is YouTube saying Marty's rank? Yeah. Stan, updates on the InMotion performance wheel? No, but I know there was that leak. There's a leak of 3 different wheels. I wish I had the link up. I don't have it. I saw it on Facebook and I don't know, Electric Unicycle forum group, I think, of 3 upcoming InMotion wheels, potentially. And Marty's going to say, oh, I know all about them, probably. And he might. But yeah, there are additional wheels. They're supposed to be like a high performance wheel. I thought, didn't I see that there was a 5,000 watt hour wheel coming? Like an ultra range wheel? Or is that a 5,000 watt motor? I don't remember, but yeah, there are some new King Song wheels coming. Stan, I don't have the specific updates, but maybe Marty does. Maybe Marty does. So yeah, InMotion is definitely going to try to take a crack at it. Scamster. So Duff, how long till H2D do it? Scamster, it's interesting. On I think it was Twitter or somewhere, someone posted to the Bamboo Lab feed. They said, can you make an H2D printer with one print head but the same print volume that allows it that allows you to access the entire print volume. Because with the H2D currently, because of the 2 print heads, you can't actually access the entire print area without utilizing both print heads. So he said, can you make a version of H2D that accesses the whole print area with 1 print head that costs $800 less? And a rep from Bamboo posted, stay tuned, meaning that it sounds like they are doing something along those lines. And if they would do that, if they would release a version of the H2D that was significantly less expensive, with only 1 print head, I would probably snap by it. So, yeah, I'm waiting for that, Scamster. My UC journey in motion performance wheels in the making. Yes. Marty says the performance in motion wheel is not in the near future. Okay. My UC journey says, with Albert now working for InMotion, it should be soon. Simon says, InMotion announced the performance wheel, then nothing. In the meantime, Begode released 5 more wheels. Yeah, right. Oh, Scamster. Okay, well, you just, I didn't read down, but you just said what I basically just said. Yeah, I would be all about it. I don't need 2 print heads. My X1C and P1S works just fine with 1. Yeah, I would snap by that. I would, if it is significantly less expensive, which it should be. Marty says the next wheel from InMotion will be their L-type wheel, so that will be the long-range wheel. So, didn't I hear 5,000 watts for the battery, Marty, or is that wrong? No race wheel. Scamster, 2 print heads is good. Yeah, well, it is. I mean, especially if you're doing prints that only have 2 colors, then you eliminate all that poop, right? Because you can just you have 2 colors loaded all the time. That's good, but I don't find myself in that situation very much. Stan, what's the L type? L type would be like I think Marty's referring to a Sherman L, something like that. Mike says InMotion performance wheel will be coming out in early spring of next year. Well, that's a ways off. That's too far off for me to even care, really. Marty is really not happy with my refusal to blindly accept his theory that wheels are not any more expensive than they were in 2018 when you factor in what you get for the money. Yeah, Marty, I've not heard anyone chiming in saying, "Oh, yeah, Marty, you're right." It's okay, Marty. I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying that I don't think it's a 1-for-1 comparison. Marty says the InMotion wheel will not be anywhere near 5,000 watt hours. Think L. Well, the L is 4,000 watt hours. So, okay. So what, we're in more of the lines of 4,000 watt hours. Okay. All right. So we've already passed 10 o'clock, which is what my imaginary cutoff time was going to be. So let me see if I have anything else in here that's worth talking about. Zen, we talked about Zen earlier in his video on the F-18. He was also did a video, I guess it was kind of in response to Johnny Go Vroom. Johnny's been getting a lot of traction with InMotion lately. Johnny did a video, and actually, to be quite honest, full disclosure, I did not see the video. I know what its subject was, but I didn't see the video. But he did a video about UL certification and how it was a significant feature, and InMotion is the only wheel that has that. And my understanding is the reason that it was significant was because there could be restrictions on selling wheels that are not UL certified. There could be situations where you're not allowed to have a vehicle in your condo or whatever, I don't know, that's not UL certified because of the strict requirements of the UL certified wheel. And Zen posted a video where he kind of poo-pooed the whole idea, saying that he thought it was kind of like a sky is falling sort of scenario where it might be sort of a narrative that's being pushed by InMotion, since they're the only wheel manufacturer that has UL certified wheels, that if you don't have a UL certified wheel, you're in trouble. So Zen didn't like that, and he thought that it was kind of I don't know, off to be doing that. He did like a 10-minute video kind of saying that. So I wrote that down as something to talk about. I'm not quite sure why. Duff must be drunk again. Well, this is only, Marty, I don't know if, now you don't know this because you weren't here earlier. I've recently been switching to these. These are Alcolo. This is actually a beer that's owned by another YouTube content creator named Whistling Diesel. That's how I heard about it. They sell them in my local grocery store. Has a unique taste. Has no carbonation. It's not a seltzer, even though the bottle looks like a seltzer drink. No carbonation. 160 calories, but it has 8% alcohol content, which is a lot of alcohol. So I find this is only my second one, but they affect me quickly and significantly. So yeah, I'm not drunk, but I'm not sober either. And I'm almost done with that. Once that's gone, I'm going to probably kick it. Simon says, inflation does count in relation to wheel prices. Unfortunately, many wages have stagnated in the last 10 years. So proportionally, wheels cost more of your weekly wage. That's true, right? Yeah, wages have not correlated with the increases in prices across the board in pretty much any scenario you can improve, or any scenario you can imagine. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think it is time for bed. Marty doesn't have money issues. Marty's Marty. That's why Marty has close to 20 wheels, if not more than 20 wheels. So I think I don't know, Marty. Sometimes I think that you lose touch with the common man. that's my feeling, but that's just me. Greenmaster Mike. His name is almost as the Simpsons beer. Yes, I've had that reference made to me a lot over the years. Marty was thinking about getting H2D for my birthday. Oh, cool. Cool. You should. It's nice. Unless you want to wait for the single printhead version. H2D seems like a great printer. I have my A1. I know you have an A1 right now, Marty, right? And I have a P1S and I have an X1C, and I love them. I love my Bamboo Lab printers. I really do. And the H2D allows you to print things even bigger. Marty says Johnny is an InMotion fanboy. He has a number of different wheels from different manufacturers. But he was kind of sent an InMotion wheel like you were, Marty, early. And even though you had to send yours to somebody else, I believe, unless that didn't happen, I think Johnny still has his, Marty. I don't think he had to send it to anybody. So so maybe that makes him more of a fanboy. But to be honest, I am a fan of a lot of things that InMotion does. I am. I like that they focus on safety. I like that they focus on features. I like that they focus on value. I like that. So maybe I'm a fanboy too. My UC Journey says Marty has deep pockets and likes to let us know. Oh, you think? Marty likes to let us know he has deep pockets, that he has insider information, that he has a lot of wheels. Yeah, he does that kind of stuff. Simon says Johnny Grove Room is the InMotion fanboy. He will fight you for bad mouthing InMotion. Is it to that degree? I don't know. Scamter is encouraging Marty to get an H2D. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Scamster has encouraged me as well, Marty, to get an H2D. I know he loves it. Greenmaster Mike says the P1S sounds like a ticket. Yeah, for the money, it's a really good value, I think. Marty says, if I had deep pockets, I'd own a lot more wheels. Now, Marty, that is a blasphemous statement. How or why? What is your justification? Like, did you do a spreadsheet or a deep analysis of why you could possibly need more wheels? You can only ride one wheel at a time. You can only ride so much. I mean, why would you own more wheels? Why would you possibly want to own more wheels than you already own? That is a crazy statement, in my opinion. Crazy. Simon says, I like Johnny. I like Johnny too. I mean, Johnny's an intelligent guy. I think he does a good job of expressing his opinions. I like Johnny. Scamster says, I don't know. Marty does not come across as someone who brags about wealth. Now, he brags about other things. I mean, it's not like he says that, hey, I got a lot of money. I don't got to worry about things. No, he doesn't say that. I mean, he I don't think Marty even thinks that he brags. I don't think he does think that. Mike says Johnny's promoting emotion, but loves his little rocket. Yeah, I saw he has a rocket. I haven't watched the video about the rocket, but I know he has one. Mad Bevo, Johnny is turning into Chooch. Just loves every wheel he's on. Fun to watch, though. Poor Chooch. Stan, I talked about this, Stan, earlier. Zen Lee posted the Orcs has a host of issues. Is the channel aware of the issues? The only thing I know about is that he said he needs a new system board. I don't know exactly why. There was other things too that he had issues with. I don't know them all. But despite whatever these issues are, he still has glowing things to say about the Oryx. So yeah. But yeah, I know he needs a system board. I don't know why. I don't know why. Simon says, when I mentioned that InMotion reneged on their V11 giveaway, Johnny got really upset and accused me of lying and demanded screenshots. What? What? Well, I don't remember the V11 giveaway. I remember InMotion asked for people to come up with a name for the V12, right? Then they want people to submit their names to the V12, and then whoever won whatever name they went with, they were going to win a wheel. I don't remember which wheel it was. But then they said that they didn't like any of the names that were submitted, and they didn't give a wheel away, I believe. And that left a bad taste in people's mouths. Mike says, Marty, your podcasts are deeper than 99% of us, for sure. You are blessed, buddy. Yeah. I don't know about 99%, maybe 98%. Yeah. Marty says the guy who drives a new car every other year, including Teslas. Well, you do know that I have to pay for these things, Marty. I do have a car payment. It's not like I pay for them cash. But Marty, I've been wanting to mention this to you because I know that you expressed excitement about the Cybertruck, because I know you have your Avalanche, which is old as shit. Is that a 2000 or I don't know? It's really old, and I know you love it. But there's a much, much better EV truck for you, and that is either a Silverado EV or a Chevy. Silverado EV. What's the Chevy one called? Oh, Jesus. Anyway, GMC and Chevy. Yeah, the GMC one is the Silverado. What's the Chevy one called? Oh my God. Yeah, my brain is done. Anyways, Chevy has their EV trucks, and they have, depending on the trim level you get the pass-through tailgate, not tailgate, but the mid tailgate, basically, where you can fold down the wall behind the back seat, and you can get like 11 feet of space on the truck. So it has that feature that the Avalanche has. It's a good looking truck. It's way better looking than the Cybertruck, in my opinion. And it has the best range of any EV out there. You can legitimately get 400 miles plus range on those Chevy and GMC trucks. Plus, they haven't been big sellers. They haven't promoted them that well. Depending on where you go, you can get a good deal. Plus, if you buy a EV truck before the end of October, I think it is it September 30th or October 30th? You still get the $7,500 federal tax credit. So, I mean, if you ever wanted to buy an EV truck, I would strongly recommend you look at those two, the Chevy and the GMC EV trucks, because they are nice. I mean, I looked at them legitimately. Like, I was looking at trading my Tesla Model Y Performance for one of those trucks, or putting that towards one of those trucks, but the resale value of Teslas has gone in the shitter, thanks to Elon and thanks to Cybertruck sales going in the shitter. There's just very, very poor resale. Teslas used to have really good resale value. Now they do not. So because my resale value on my Model Y sucks, I trashed that idea. But for you, you really should look at one of those EV trucks. They are nice. They are really, really nice, and they get outstanding range, and it's real range. Like the range that Tesla promotes is fantasy range. It's not real range. The range that GMC and Chevy post in their trucks is legit. I mean, there's people that have gotten over 450 miles on a charge on those trucks. So, anyways, thank me later. Scamster doesn't need a bigger wheel than the L. My city isn't big enough. Gotcha. I don't need a wheel like the L either, so I'm good. My EUC journey says, to be honest, Marty, your value comes from your passion for EUC. So many people have money but would never buy a wheel. Yeah, I mean, Marty, without a doubt, is passionate about EUCs. That is unquestionable. Marty says variety. So that's your answer to why you would need more wheels than you have. Variety is the spice of life. I mean, you are only married to one woman, right, Marty? You're not a polygamist, a closet polygamist, right? I mean, with that attitude, variety is the spice of life. All right. Mike says Ford is releasing a 30,000 full size, full electric coming out soon. What? Well, the Ford Lightning kind of sucks. That's been the general consensus. The Lightning kind of sucks. But I mean, and the Cybertruck kind of sucks. I mean, to me, I mean, there's just been, I don't know. I had a deposit on one and I canceled it because I thought it kind of sucked when it came out. The GMC and the Chevy EV trucks, I like them. I like them a lot. $30,000. Oh, I think I saw something on social media about that, Mike. Yeah, with a significantly smaller battery. Yeah. Well, I do actually have a deposit on a Slate. If you guys have heard about the Slate, that's a small, compact electric pickup truck that's supposed to come out next year. I put $100 deposit on it. It looks interesting. That Ford truck that Mike's talking about is similar in size and looks interesting. So yeah, that'd be great. Mad Bevo's rocking the Master V2. Nothing wrong with that wheel. Nothing wrong with that wheel. Silverado EV is way cool. 100. No, well, that's for the RST model. I know a lot about these, Marty. That's for the top of the line RST model. And the RST model actually has been phased out in 2026. That being said, if you can find a RST on a lot, more than likely it's going to be heavily discounted, at least in Florida, around here. You can get it for a lot less than that, Marty, and you can get the $7,500 federal tax credit. So you can get a Silverado work truck, which is, I wouldn't buy a Silverado work truck because it doesn't have a lot of the bells and whistles that I would like, and it doesn't have that midgate either. But you can get one of those for like in the 60s, I believe. But for you, I mean, the way you love your Avalanche, those GMC EV trucks seem like a perfect fit for you. And believe me, if you look, you can get one for a lot less than 100K. You would love to buy that truck. Well, like, dig into it, Marty. You can get it for less. Trust me. I'm in the Silverado and Sierra EV groups on Facebook, and constantly people are posting the deals that they're getting from dealers on those trucks. And yeah, you will not pay 100K. My UC Journey says battery price should come down. Hold on. Hold on a second. Just bear with me. I'm doing something very important right now. Yeah, battery prices should come down. Well, yeah, drawing the Earth. Well, one of the nice things about new battery technology is a lot of these new technologies, they're using less rare minerals, which is a good thing, right? It's a good thing. Okay, hold. I gotta take a quick bathroom break. Excuse me. Look at my cool flux capacitor. I'll be right back. It's crazy how those Alcolos hit me, man. I mean, I feel more effective from 2 Alcolos than I do after like 5 Cayman Jacks. It's crazy. All right, I need to wind this down here. So let's see. Simon says Tesla's major achievement is their charging network. Amen. Yeah, they have opened it up to a lot of different manufacturers now. It's getting a little bit annoying because them doing so has made there be more contention for charging at their superchargers. I've run into that a few times where up until this year, I never ever had to wait at a supercharger. Now that's happened to me a couple times where I've gone to superchargers and they've been all full, and not all full Teslas. They're full with the Ford charges there. I believe Chevy charges there. There's a bunch of manufacturers that can charge there now. So it's a bit annoying. But their charging network is awesome. Marty says one of the reasons I'm retired is because I'm driving a 22-year-old truck. Yes, Marty. Yes, Marty. Yes, I know. Well, treat yourself to instead of buying an H2D, buy yourself an electric truck, a Chevy electric truck. Marty says, wow, you're super passionate about that truck. Yeah, I love it because what I would do if I got that truck is I would get rid of my Tesla and I would get rid of my Tacoma. I have a 2016 Tacoma, which I did a video on today, actually. I would be able to replace those two vehicles with one. But I have the best of both worlds. I have an EV vehicle, but it's a truck with full truck capabilities, more capabilities than my Tacoma has. So that would be great. It just, like I said, the value of my Tesla is too shitty, though, that it doesn't make any financial sense to do so. So I'm not going to. But I've watched tons of videos on those trucks. I really am impressed by them. I really like them. So yeah, So after 22 years, you're probably due for a truck, Marty. So I think you should treat yourself. That's my opinion. My UC journey loves riding in Florida. That's why Duff reminds me of. It is nice. It's a nice place to have a wheel. Mad Bevo says, it's the current gen of batteries that has kept me away from EV cars, trucks, waiting until they can be better long term. Yeah, well, it's only going to get better. My Model Y has a battery warranty of 120,000 miles, I believe. I think it's 10 years, 120,000 miles, I think. I do not expect to have the Model Y long enough to get out of that warranty period. Mike bought a Ford Maverick, under 25,000, four-door, but it's not for work. It's basically a car with a truck, 42 MPGs. Yeah, we actually have a Maverick that we use at the office as one of our company vehicles. Marty says, fine discussion, Duff. You should go to bed now. Good night. All right, buddy. I plan to do that. I have to get up at 5:30 a.m. Scamster sold his Kia Stinger. Sold it because they ride at UC exclusively. Oh, really? So that is your only source of transportation? Interesting. Wife has a car. Okay, that's nice, man. If you can swing that, that's nice. That's really nice. That's awesome. Okay, I'm caught up in chat. Let me see if there's anything in my list that I want to even a can of worms that I want to open up. Nah, probably not. I did post a video a couple days ago where I installed pedal drops on my V13. I got them from How Ning Ning over in Florida. How Ning Ning, who makes all kinds of stuff. He also makes fast chargers. He makes accessories for all kinds of wheels. These are brackets that drop the pedal height 2 inches. That is a lot. 2-inch pedal drop, and you can do shorter drops if you want. It was my cost after shipping was about $200. So, I mean, that's a good amount of money for 2 little CNC parts, but it does 2 things. Dropping the pedals makes the wheel more stable at speed and also makes it easier for me to sit on the wheel. That's the only wheel I can sit on. Dropping it 2 inches makes it even easier for me to sit on. So I installed those this week. I have a video out there that documents the install process, and I did a brief ride on it. I need to do some more riding on it. Haven't been able to do a lot of riding because of the incision on my head. Makes full face helmets not a great idea right now, but I do plan to test it out some more. It's just a question of if it's worth $200. It's a great part, fit right in, strong, I'm sure. It's just I don't know. It's not cheap. It's not cheap, but I do have lower pedals now on my V13, so I'm happy about that. And Scampter says EUC for all transport now. So, okay, guys, I've gone about a half hour longer than I planned to, but it was a good discussion. I look to have more live streams out in a more regular basis. So this wasn't bad. This was 2 to 3 weeks. So this was kind of good. So, but I appreciate everyone that stopped in. I will be making this a podcast maybe later tomorrow, not early, because I need to get up and on the road early, but I will be posting this as a podcast as well. So that's all I have for now. Thanks again for stopping in, and till next time,